You always hear about flare-ups between contractors and their customers, so you don't expect them to get that far with shooting.
Revenge is likely the reason behind a deadly shooting that rocked a quiet beach community early this summer. Matt McFarland is your reporter covering New Haven County. He is live in Milford with what we're learning. Matt.
Well, Aaron, the arrest warrant recently unsealed, quite lengthy. We're talking about 30 pages. Inside it details the investigation into the couple that was shot inside their bedroom here on East Broadway. As for the potential motivation laid out by police, well, it points to payback.
Typically, these areas are pretty quiet, and you don't hear of a lot of crime. But it can happen anywhere, obviously.
And it did here in Milford back on June 3rd. According to a warrant, Sandy Cooper told police 2 men in dark clothing entered her bedroom through a sliding door just before 3 in the morning. They shot her once in the head before killing her husband, 69-year-old Fred Werner. Able to call 911, she told police right then and there she believed a former employee, whom had recently been fired for suspicion of stealing money from her business, was somehow connected. We're not identifying that woman as she hasn't been charged, but police quickly interviewed her and her husband after a car registered to him was spotted in Milford the night of the shooting. Inside the SUV, police say 24-year-old Ivan Barrios Florimon and 25-year-old Stuart Lopez Reyes. They're both now charged with murder. According to the warrant, Barrios Florimon worked as a landscaper for that ex-employee's husband, even working at Cooper's home. And police say Barrios Florimon even texted with the ex-employee the day Cooper fired her. "I'll make her life hell. Just say the word. I'll expletive her life over. I'm with anything you guys want to do." The ex-employee said, "We can talk tonight." Police say Barrios Florimon and Lopez Reyes tried to cover their tracks, stealing a license plate from Tweed New Haven Airport shortly before the shooting. But cell phone records allegedly placed the pair near the East Broadway scene that morning. Police eventually recovered the car in the Bronx, along with the stolen gun they say was used. And according to police, the night after the shooting, Stuart Lopez Reyes even texted someone, writing, "I need your help. Can I stay at your house? I need a place to stay. Can you delete the messages? You won't even know I'm there. No, seriously, I did something stupid. They're looking for me." Now, Cooper was treated and released from the hospital. As for the 2 suspects, they're both being held on $3 million. Your reporter live in Milford, Matt McFarland, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.